if you're trying to manifest your dreams while holding on to your previous old you, then this video is for you, and I'm going to talk about why sometimes we need to release the old us to really step into our highest timeline, into a new timeline, into manifesting our dreams. And in today's video, I'm actually going to give you a bit of an example of how the universe sometimes gives you a big punch in the face if you actually don't really listen to your gut and you try and go back into your old life. Like you might actually be like, I'm guessing if this video's found you've got these dreams, these visions, these goals, and you know exactly where you're wanting to be going, but the person that is living that how you show up, that person might not be, completely different from your past, and it's a completely different person. So you're like showing up as this new person so you can make your dreams come true, manifestations, like come into your highest timeline, and you've got this this ideal person you want to be, this ideal life. And so what does that person do every day? How do they act? How do they show up? And all of these sort of things. But you might be struggling with this because the old person, the old you that you are not wanting to be anymore, but you might actually be grieving that person. I know, I sure am some days, although I'm so happy at where I am in my progress in my spiritual journey, and where I am in my journey in life. But there's parts of me that miss the old me. And, I know a lot of people, my friends and people around me are kind of like, oh my God, you've changed so much. And I'm like, yeah, like I'm wanting to live a different lifestyle, become this new person that I now identify with, that is going to be living my dreams, which is not that person anymore. But sometimes, speaking for my experience, I don't know about you, sometimes you just, you're not quite ready to let go of that old version of you yet. And so I'm going to speak a little bit of my own experience, but I, decided to be like, I wonder if I can still be like that person a little bit, but still like this new person. And yeah, I had an experience which was not very nice. I don't drink anymore just because it doesn't really align with where I'm going in life. I don't like hangovers, and I just find like having one or two is not my style. So it's easier just to not drink at all. Anyway, I decided to go to the concert. I hadn't drank for a long time, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll have a couple of drinks and maybe it'll be all right. That I've gone through quite a lot of traumatic stuff. Like last year I had like a traumatic event where I was attacked at a festival. I'm not going to go into that, but anyway, it was really horrific. And so what I realize now is when I go to concerts or go to places with especially security, because it was involved with a security person, I get into a traumatic state. And so that's actually a time that you should absolutely not drink. Now that I'm learning these things, but when I was at home and calm and chill with my friend, everything was fine. And then we went to this event, and it was like the same security firm that I've had this altercation with. And so I instantly felt traumatized. And so, yeah, it basically, I had another thing happen, not as traumatic as the first time, but I'm not going to go into the full story, but it wasn't great. And I realized there were things that I was replaying on how things could have been different. But I think coming from trauma, and it can heighten our awareness. And anyway, without going into the story, I realized that this is like basically the universe throwing me a situation, like a repeating pattern that I had to replay differently, which I'm actually really proud that I did replay out the situation differently. But it was almost like a repeating pattern I had to go through. So if we sort of haven't learned from, from our past mistakes, or if we haven't learned what the story was in that scenario, and then actually rewrite the story and surrender to the story and make a different story moving forward, rather than like I'm the victim or poor me, or like why does this keep happening, actually look into it. And I learned a lesson from this story and this event that played out. But also one thing that I really learned was the universe was like, you can't get everything you desire in life if you aren't willing to let go of a part of you that is not where you're going. And that's not to say that I can't ever go to an event or have another drink one day, but it doesn't quite feel in alignment with me. So these are things that I really need to listen to. I need to listen to my gut, listen to how I'm feeling and like the situation, and figure all that out. This is something that I have now learned, but it's more the fact that I actually wasn't quite sure if that's what I wanted to do in the first place, but I'm like, I think it will be okay. So that was the first red flag, is me not listening to my first gut feeling of like, I don't know if this is a good idea. And so that why I'm sharing this story is because if you have struggled with something similar, or you're wondering why certain things keep happening to you, or like, certain situations replay, or you might have a similar situation in a different context or whatever for you, there's a repeating pattern, there'll be something that you're needing to learn. And maybe there's something, a part of you that is not, that you need to let go of to move forward in life, to really live this dream life that you are wanting. So, and this is a lot of from what I've been listening to and learning about. And it's like when you're jumping timelines or going into a new timeline, into your like dream style of life, the old version of you actually can't really come with you. Sadly, I'm sorry to say this, but it's true. So you have to like let, and this is something I need to like, I've been learning myself, and I have been letting go a lot of the old version of me, but there's some parts that I'm like, oh, maybe she can kind of come along. But I realize no. I'm sharing this because like for you to step into your new timeline, those toxic patterns or toxic habits cannot come into this new timeline. So we might be sitting there going, why are my dreams not happening, or why are things not manifesting the way I really want them to? And the universe is like looking down at you like, oh, we're just going to put a little test out there to see if you're actually ready. If you're really ready to like let go of a part that is not actually able to come with you in this new timeline, this new version of you, this like upgraded 2.0 version. So sometimes we'll get these tests from the universe, and it's a nice big slap in the face to see if you really like, how badly you want this, how badly you want to move forward, how badly you really want to go for your dreams, and like you really want your desires and your manifestations to happen. You will have to let go of some toxic old patterns from the past. Unfortunately, it's the truth. And so, yeah, this is a little bit of a lesson that I had to learn. What I took out of this, though, is I journaled. I really did like some shadow work and some, and I released, I realized I had to release and surrender through some things, and surrendering to the universe is actually one thing that is going to be so amazing for your growth. I'm still learning this, like certain things are happening and I'm like, that's not fair. Why is that happening? But in the bigger picture, I look at like, I don't think that's meant to be part of my new story. So sometimes these unfortunate things can happen, or things that seem unfair are actually, one, a test to see how badly we really want to go where we're wanting to go. Two, also, it needs to happen because sometimes you're going to be pushed to a point of, this is not fair, what am I gonna do, poor me, wah. But like, you've also been asking for this dream life that the universe is like, but you want all these things, but you don't want to let go of these other things that might be holding you back, keeping you safe, really just draining you and keeping you in like a stuck box that you kind of like, we kind of get stuck in our own little self-made box of I'd say a safe box. And like, we make this little safe box for ourselves and we're like, I could go out there but it's a bit hard, or it's a bit scary, or like, you know, I have to let go of some things in the box that I'm not ready to yet. So really, I just made this video because I'm like, are you sitting in a safe box that you are not quite comfortable getting pushed out of? And sometimes getting pushed out of the box, you might, where you're going and stuff is growing, you might be like spilling out of the box and you can't fit anymore, so you're needing to like move to a new bigger box. That yeah, so is this happening in your life? Let me know in the comments if this resonates, or like, yeah, if you know, if you've had anything, a slap in the face from the universe lately telling you, nope, you're not going that way anymore. That's the wrong way, where unless you're wanting to go back. But I feel like when you come so far in your journey forward into a spiritual awakening and just being so much more aware of you and life and the universe and everything, you're like, it's so, you just can't even go back. It's just, you'll get punished if you do. Speaking from experience. So yeah, how can you work on letting your old former self go, letting any toxic traits go that you just know, and not like that dream, that you, that is like the highest, your highest good, or your highest self, or you know, that person that is living your life in another timeline, that is you, she, he, whatever, is like, you can't bring that toxic habit with you. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, so this is kind of like a bit of a message. If you've come across this, it's time to let it go. If you have to grieve, mourn it, that's all right. I've done so much of that myself, you know, and just thank that former you, especially if you're like a little like warrior fighter like I am. Like, thank her, him, whatever, for like getting you to this point, and just then release them. Just be like, thank you so much. I don't need you anymore in this new stage of my life where I'm going, my high, you know, this next timeline, and now it's time for you to move forward. And put that person, like, who would that person act, be and do that is living your highest timeline, living those dreams, you know, because we need to meet the universe halfway. Like I've said before, you know, we can't be like, I want all these things, but I'm just gonna chill out like down in my happy comfort zone, you know. The universe is like, you know, meet me halfway, you know. You can't have it all if you're just sitting there feeling comfortable. So yeah, hopefully this message helped you. It may also, you may be like, man, that sucks, I don't want to hear that. But that's okay, you know, I've got you, I understand, I've been there, and I'm living it with you. So let me know if it resonates, and like and subscribe, please, if you're watching and you're like, yeah, thank you. It really helps me, helps my channel, helps me like get out to more people like you, maybe more people like you that are going through something similar, and you're just like, what the hell? Like, what am I doing? Where am I going? What do I need to be doing? So that's my mission here. And yeah, thank you so much, and come back again soon. Love and belief, Lisa Cerise.